blood. I just don't. I just phony, fake motherfuckers, man. I don't like them. It's a reason. I mean, I'm a good person. I love a lot of people, man. But I can see evil. I can look right through you like Scotch tape. I don't like motherfuckers that they never have no money, and when they finally get some money, they act funny. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like when fools tell on their co-defendants for reduced time, knowing they both did the crime. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Paper way, in a real way. We gonna get into this game real quick.
There's some sucker shit, you pussies hella fake. Got my name in their mouth, cause my name carry weight. So many really fruitful game, goofy cornballs. Where your daddies and your uncles at? Who raised y'all? If the shoe fit, then wear it, my nigga.
We're gonna go in tonight, man. We're gonna talk about it.
Even when you sneeze. I don't know nobody shit, I didn't get along. At the beginning of my career, I was all alone. No matter what you do, they ain't satisfied. They wouldn't send their condolences if your mama died. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. Frenemies become enemies. Funk. We don't play checkers no more. We play talk. I smash on one of you niggas. Say I won't. I don't like motherfuckers that they never had no money, and when they finally get some money, they act funny. I don't like them. I don't like them. I don't like when fools tell on their co-defendants for reduced time, knowing they both did the crime. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah. So let's get into this game real quick.
So don't bring that sucker with you when you come through to the trap. I don't like when niggas try to cap. I don't like when niggas smile in my face and talk behind my back. Niggas can't keep it a rap. Not ready to buy lows. How you run off with a pack? Type of shit is that? Type of shit that'll get you whacked. I don't like when bitches play with this game. I got this shit you lack. Put the house on the bed, that's a fact. Pass my weed and a nigga don't pass it back. Smoked out and I'm tapped. I don't like when the police walk into my car and want my windows cracked. Take that something.
Yeah, man. So let's get into it, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to give you the breakdown, play by play about what's happening with this whole Ice Cube black woman talk. You know what I'm saying? So Ice Cube sat down with the Queens and asked them about this. You know, broke down the contract to them. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what the Queens got to say about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, it gotta make sense, you know. So let's see what they're really pushing and what the agenda is.
Now joining us now is a legendary rapper and film producer who is making headlines not only for his music, but his involvement with policy and politics. Please, everybody, welcome Ice Cube. Hello, sir.
Hey, what's up? How y'all doing?
Hey, you.
Yo, what's up? What's up, Lisa Ray? How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you.
Good. How's everybody doing?
Bless.
Good.
And we're also very appreciative of you taking the time to come talk to us here. I know everyone's trying to get a piece of you and talk to you and have you on their platform. So we definitely appreciate that. So thank you. I want to ask you just out the gate how you're doing, you know.
So this is the panel. Claudia Jordan, Vivica Fox, some other chick, I don't even know who, and Lisa Ray. It's a good panel, you know. Smart, you know, accomplished woman. I've been in the Hollywood game and all that. So let's see what they know about politics. Can you dig it?
How have you been coping with the pandemic, the civil unrest? Black people have always been through trying times, but it's a little extra right now on top of our regular stress. Getting different. We got another layer on top. You know, we got 10 on 20 right now. So how are you doing?
I'm doing good. You know, the pandemic, it hit everybody and caught everybody off guard. Thank God for D Nice, who started spinning them records, man, and kept people just, you know, kind of, you kept our sanity, you know what I'm saying? And then the thing with George Floyd happened, which shook everybody to our core. You know, when you hear a man, you know, scream for his mama, I think everybody in the world felt that. So, you know, everything switched reels for me. And I just been on this quest trying to get us true equality, you know, not just equality on social issues, but economic equality, which is, just as important.
Well, let's just jump right in then, Q, because I have been, looking at some of the bites from your interview. You did an interview with Roland Martin, which helped me, I want to say, because I will say that when I first heard that you were supporting Trump, I was like, wait a minute, what? Hold on, because you my boy. So I was like, I got a personal insight. I'm gonna call him directly.
I didn't say I was supporting Trump. So
allegedly, right?
Yeah.
That's what I heard. That's what the bite, the sound bite.
Yeah.
That's why people got to do their research. And I watched that interview, and I heard you break it down to why you were involved, why you met with both sides, and when you got involved, which was not just recently. And so when I said, what contract was he talking about? This contract of Black America, like, what is that? Where did it come from? I did not know. So when I think of things that I don't know, I automatically assume that a whole lot of people out there don't know. So I would want you to educate me as well. So what did make you go to the administration and speak with them?
Well, what happened was, there was a lot of yelling, a lot of people upset.
Why would she assume that? Because she's a celebrity, she got to know more than people. I need to know. What you got to tell me? It's good. Can you dig it? You can't tell me it's good. How am I supposed to know? My bad, y'all. I'm just trying to figure this shit out. Got me perplexed.
A lot of reforms being put on the table during George Floyd, but I was looking around for a document that really was speaking on what's the needs in the community and what do we need across the board, not just from government, but from the private sector too. Because there's a lot of companies that are involved in our pain, and they got to pay up too. They owe us reparations as well in some shape or form. So it was nothing. I was looking around. I'm like, damn, where is the document? Where is the ask? What are we asking for as a people across the board that deals with not only police brutality, but all our needs? So I started working on it myself with, some smart people I know. We end up getting, economists involved, people like Derek Hamilton. We started to go and just find the smartest minds to help try to put a document together so we can actually have something to say, damn, all this is things we need. This is so anybody Black could look at our document and say, yeah, support this, support, some of the things that we have. Now, I'm not a politician, and I shouldn't be the one to have to put this thing together. We've had politicians in place for a long time, and they haven't come up with something like this. So I was surprised, but that didn't stop me. And we put that together July 1st, and we revamped it about, let me get the timeline here. We revamped it July 19th. And from then, people wanted to interview me about it. So I went on just promoting the contract with Black America, hoping to be contacted by any of the politicians saying, yo, this is a great idea. Everybody that I would show would say, oh, these are great ideas. This is common sense. This is things that should be in place already, but they're not. So I was just kind of saying, okay, we're going to. Yeah, starting an initiative, and I'll make a long story short. I was just going up, basically saying, okay, we're gonna go after the private sector. We're gonna go after the banks. We're gonna go after Hollywood. We're gonna go after the people that we know got their hands in the cookie jar. You know what I mean? So then we started to get contacted from, got contacted from the Democrats on September 8th. And then we start talking to them. Then we got contacted by the Republicans. So that's when the ball started rolling. Then, so it's not just like I just jumped into anything. I mean, I just did the contract, and then people started to contact me, not the other way around. I was hoping the Democrats would be all over me, but that wasn't the case. And I understand it wasn't like I was throwing a fit. I just was like, okay, we're going at the private sector. And then the Republicans contacted me. And to me, if you're speaking for Black people, you should speak to whoever is in power or about to be in power.
And I think you had a statistic. You said something about there has been 7,000 Black people elected, and you felt like in offices for us, and you felt like they ain't made a change. We've not come far at all with 7,000 of us in there. What are we going to do? Who is going to take this and say, okay, I'll be in the front line of this, and then get in the front line and have everybody come on board with you? Because let's be honest, you are Ice Cube and you do have a huge platform. So I would say that for me to know that you've been using your platform to be able to have an initiative like that, I think it's worth you doing the interviews that you're doing and letting everybody know and hear your voice on.
I just want to jump in and say, I just don't think it's that fair to the 7,000 of Black elected officials that have been in office.
Right, to say that they've done nothing.
Yeah, because I think that is, I think that's a slippery slope to walk down, because as we saw with
a lot of progress.
Why is that so wrong? Why is that so wrong? What has Barack Obama done for Black people? These are simple questions that need to be answered. Tangible, specifically, and without a doubt, directly to affect the progress of the Black community. Give us the people who are doing these. And if Ice Cube feels in his heart of hearts that it's not happening, and he needs to go at it himself in his way. You listen to everyone, and you play your part. So he's doing his part. So for her to say, "Oh, I don't know about that," that's from his perspective. So you can't really judge that. Plus, the proof is in the pudding. They haven't really done nothing for us in the last. I don't know. In the last quite a bit, quite a while. So the last thing was abolishing, Lyndon B. The Civil Rights Bill, right? And even at that, nothing really changed. So let's continue.
It's been made.
It's not as simple as you get elected and bam, you can make all these changes one man.
Right.
I never said that 7,000 people, Black people, have never did anything. I said that since the 60s, there's been over 7,000 Black politicians elected in prominent positions. And our situation, as far as the wealth gap, hasn't changed. We flatlined from the 60s to now. We have not gained or closed the wealth gap. So that's the major problem.
By one iota, as Dr. Claude Anderson tells us. 100 years ago, we owned 0.5% of the wealth. That's what 100 years is the same damn thing. So, you tell me if it matters. The system is perpetuated to keep up the status quo. Let's go.
I understand we got a lot of people, working hard for progress. That just the facts are, it hasn't happened in the traditional way. So that's why I want to break the mold.
So, I just want to say, first of all, there's this whole cancel culture that we have. First of all, anybody canceling no damn Ice Cube. Let me just say that first out the gate. This is NWA.
Thank you.
He was the first to say fuck the police. So go sit down. Nobody's canceling Ice Cube, and if you are canceling, that's fucking stupid. Second of all, I do think that it is very good that you are taking an initiative to, and I like how you say bipartisan, because that means both parties. This is for both parties. We want both parties to jump onto this. This is not just, oh, this person, that person. We want everybody to grab a hold on to what African American people need singularly. And I remember we talked about this on Cocktails. Remember, Lisa Ray, when you asked the question before, you were like, well, who's going to do something? Who's going to lead singularly for African Americans? Now, I do know that there have been tons of initiatives. CBC has initiatives all the time, Congressional Black Caucus, the Nation of Islam, right here, National Agenda. They've had an entire agenda that happened right after the Million Man March. It was presented to, what's the name? The president that was in, what's the name? Clinton. It was presented to the Clinton administration. So we have tried. There has been trying going on. But one thing I do like about your initiative is that it is singular to Black people. That gap, that wealth gap is a fool, and it does need to be fixed immediately. But here's my question. I watched you on the Black Report the other day on Friday, and they asked you, hey, Q, what do you think about, when you see the Black Man March, and how does that make you feel? And you said something that was really profound and stood out to me. You said, you know what? I wish that Black people and Black men could watch this over again and get back to this. Because you said, even myself, we need to get back to this type of unity, this type of connecting. And so my thing is, let's say whoever get in office, it ain't gonna matter. The initiative is set, and then it's like nothing's happening, or something is happening, or whatever, it's there. Now, well, let's say they give us all the $500 billion that we asked for. Do you honestly think, and I'm not even trying to be funny or trying to catch nobody up, and I'm just asking like a real question. With the state of how our community is already broken, how we already have PTSD, how we already are not connecting already interculturally, the infrastructure of African Americans in general is just jammed up with or without money. Do you think, and what could be the process of, once we get this money, of implementing it properly into our communities and really being able to allocate it where it makes sense and matters, and what's going to be necessary for that to happen?
Well, what I said on the show about the Million Man March was the fact that it was the Million Man March, but it was a day of atonement. It was a day where we were gonna bury the hatchet with.
And listen to how Ice Cube breaks things down, because he's a very smart individual. He likes to teach as well as answer questions in a very precise and concise manner. You know what I'm saying? He's speaking. Well, you just gotta dig deeper. You don't want to listen to a dude like Ice Cube. Seasoned in the game, For real.
Each other. It was the day when we were supposed to go back to our neighborhood kind of as new people and try to, make things better. And, it just didn't happen the way, we all envisioned it. But that don't mean we can't start. We do need financial help in our communities, but we also gotta make a commitment to ourselves to clean up ourselves. It do start with the person in the mirror. You can't deal with the white man out here until you deal with the white man in there. You see what I mean? So you have to clean up. We have to clean up ourselves. We've been poisoned by this society. We've been poisoned by trying to live like the people who've had us oppressed, and what they are attracted to, we're attracted to. We got to come out of that. We got to be our own people with our own flavor, our own style, our own morals, and we got to flip it. I'm not Mr. Holy. I'm guilty of it too. So it's something we all have to start doing to clean ourselves up. But I think the key is to try to get the money in the hands of people who are doing things, who are trying to be on the right side, the progressive people, the people who are business owners, people who want to own homes, people who want to beautify their homes so it isn't just gentrified. So it's things where we can get money into responsible people's hands, and hopefully they'll hire the community to teach the community. They'll use the community to hopefully clean the community up. I also think the government has a job too. Why you use the armies just to come in and put guns on us and make sure we're not protesting? Why you don't use the armies to come fix fences and roofs and paint walls and do things to beautify the neighborhood? It's like they got to rethink how government works for the people, and they're not going to do it using the same old ways. You're going to have to push them. You're going to have to find pressure points, and you're going to have to use leverage when it's time.
I just got to make a quick statement though, Q.
Go ahead.
If the administration that is in there right now hasn't done it for the past 3.5 years, what do you think is going to make them start in the next 4 years that they are given more and are given more during the pandemic? I know you got to take a break. Hold that thought, but I just got to ask that and make that statement, because you can't make them tell them all of that, and they've been there for 3.5 years. So
I ain't trying to make them do nothing. So
we need them to do something if we're going to trust them to do it.
Hold on, guys. We got to take a quick break.
Okay.
I definitely want to talk about that. I definitely want to talk about QB hit on some very, very good points about the military, but this current administration is using the military to enforce their own agenda.
Now, how could you say the current administration is using the military to enforce their own agenda? The military is the police, is the law. The law has nothing to do with politics. I mean, it is what it is. The military is always going to defend the Constitution.
And we want to talk about that. So let's take a quick break. A lot of gems are being dropped here. We'll be back with more Cocktails with the Queens when we return after this break. Welcome back to Cocktails with the Queens. We have Ice Cube here, and we are talking about his contract with Black America and some very legit questions here. Vivica, before we went to break, you asked about if the current administration has not done it in 3.5 years, why now is this massive push with 2 weeks before the election? I understand, Ice Cube, you've been working with this since June, July, but we're hearing about it now. So it looks really, I think a lot of Black folks, it looks very, I feel like I don't, and I know this isn't your intention, but I feel like, you know how they use us all the damn time. You know what
I mean, both sides use celebrities, but check this out. The thing is this, I'm not here saying he's going to do anything, but he didn't make a promise to me. He made a campaign promise to the world. So he's on record for that. Now, we wanted Joe Biden on record. He has a plan, but I don't know if his plan really pinpoints Black people. So we want a plan that pinpoints Black people. We don't know if any of them going to do it. But when you have a person on record as a campaign promise, you have more to go at him with, because he's told the world this is what he's going to do. And if he doesn't deliver, he looks bad to everybody. Now, why hasn't dude done it in 3 years? I don't know. Nobody's been pressing him. Everybody's been like, he's the boogeyman, run. And nobody's been pressing him on behalf of Black people, because we've been just waiting for Democrats to get back in.
I do not agree with you on that statement. There has been a lot of people that have asked him, what about the wall? What about the kids?
Everybody's waiting for the Democrats to get back in. And what's the tangibles for us? Where do we fit in that equation? Because the Democrats know that they could get the Black vote, which they just pander to, and just do the regular shucking and jabbing and rhetoric that just really isn't the truth. because the status quo still remains. Let's go.
But what
I mean, there's a lot of things that, trust
I understand
me,
that.
I'm not going to give him no plus
I
signs
understand
whatsoever.
that. But check this out. I'm talking about pressing him to give things to black people. These are country issues. I'm talking about black people pressing him to give things to black people. Everybody treated him like the boogeyman. Nobody would go and press him to give things to black.
That is a very right statement that he said right there. Because at the end of the day, you can't just be scared of your president. That's like being scared of your boss. You got to go and ask for what you need in order to get where you're going. You want to be treated right. Can you dig it?
I understand that, but we raggedy. We got to get our. We have to. We got to go.
They don't like Cubes saying that we raggedy. But let's hear it again.
Black people pressing him to give things to black people. Everybody treated him like the boogeyman. Nobody would go and press him to give things to black people. The stuff that he's doing to the rest of the country, I understand that, but we raggedy. We got to get our. We have to. We have to press any president that ends up winning. We have to press, or it's not going to work. We can't just press one side.
He says when we do press them that the other people are fine people. I mean, is that right? I mean, and he won't announce. And he won't announce it.
You hear what Ice Cube said? You can't take sides. You got to press each side, and it's so true because whatever side wins, we should be able to benefit. Point blank period. Because that's what it entails. That's the contract. It's been put in place. For Black Americans to receive their just due, their reparation. I mean, come on. Let's be honest now. You have to think of it as a strategy for the betterment of the people as a whole.
The people that hurt us and suppress us. And then the policeman had his neck on somebody's neck for 9 minutes. He never support them.
I'm not here to fight about what he did, what he didn't do. Is he a good white man? Is he a bad white man? To me, they pretty much all the same. So now,
I don't agree with that.
With that said,
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with. Can I? I don't agree. I used to be.
Well, look. I know we've had all kind of.
Why doesn't she agree with that? Yeah. All men are created equal, but let's not lie to ourselves.
The president and our situation hasn't changed, so that's why I said they're pretty much all the same when it comes to a president and dealing with our situation.
So let me. I gotta ask this question. Because you're on the show with the cocktails with the Queen, and there's a reason for that. It wasn't to have you defend or not defend Donald Trump. It was about. I care about what's in this contract with Black America for women, and it's not. We're not mentioned at all in the contract with Black America. And
I mean, when you mention black people, you mention in black women. So don't count yourself out.
No, that's like administration say that when they
black people is not black women. Black women are not included in black people.
No, but that's like that's like you saying. That's like when the president says minorities, then he's including black people. But we all know that's not the case. Black women have specific needs that are not also being met. And we also feel that there should be some things that are specific.
You see, the divide and conquer tactic. Did they know what they were doing when they're saying what they're saying? I think not. The females do have a gripe because they haven't been felt, respected, and lifted up to the highest esteem. Well, in fact, they are mothers of all civilization. So for them to kind of differentiate themselves from black people is kind of counterproductive, in my opinion. But at the same time, they do have a point where they do have specific needs, wants, and it should be met accordingly. Because it's just dues. But in certain circumstances, like this one right here, you shouldn't differentiate yourself from the rest of your people just because you feel entitled to something that's not even available to your people as a whole. So it's kind of more division, more segregation, counterproductive. Well, let's go on. Let's listen to what lady has to say. These lovely ladies.
To us and our plight as well. And
I understand that.
I feel like as a black man, you can lead.
No,
I feel like
I just offered y'all to write a section up for it. I just said I don't mind if you guys help us. If you guys help us write a section. No, I've been open to all kind of experts in putting this together. It wasn't just me. We dealt.
Exactly. So Ice Cube is trying to work with everybody. I'll make this thing work, you know what I'm saying? Which is a smart thing to do. Because at the end of the day, he knows he doesn't know everything. And he ain't here to criticize. He's trying to build on what he got and make something happen out of it, you know? So ladies got to check themselves a little bit. I understand where he's coming from, the way he's speaking, you know? Stop being so reactionary. But that's another story.
With experts in all fields of this contract with Black America. So we're willing to deal with experts in the section when it comes to women. So that's no problem.
Okay,
I'll help you write it. I'll help you write it.
Say you do get the money. How soon do you think your plan is going to go into effect?
When
will we start seeing the benefits?
I'm not getting 1 quarter. Okay, this is something
I said
this is something he's promising to the country, and he's gonna have to implement it in a way he feel that can fit.
Okay, but can I just ask though, what would you see this plan doing for the first year for us if he's reelected?
I'm not part of the administration.
Well,
I'm not here. I'm here for Black people. I'm here to talk to both administrations about the contract with Black America. The Platinum Plan is not mine. Didn't name it. Didn't put it together. All I did was meet about the contract with Black America. They added some things, and I'm willing to meet with both sides. They can add some things or not. It's fine.
And then, they ran off immediately and did statements that you're basically a Republican now.
We're going to need a team of our people.
That's on them. That ain't on me.
Okay.
That's on them. That's not on me.
I just want to make sure. We just want clarity.
We can't all talk at the same time. I got to ask a question, y'all. With over 20,000 lies told to the American people by this president, I'm a former friend of Donald Trump. I work with him. I made money with him. Personally, it would have served me better to still stay on his side. Why would you believe after he gets Black votes, his whole goal from 3 years ago was to siphon 20% of Black male votes to cross over to vote to support him? Why would we believe that he has, once he gets reelected, he will follow through with any of these plans, as opposed to Joe Biden and Kamala, who would be in their first term and be more indebted to do the right thing to get reelected for a second term? Right. Why should we believe that Donald Trump would actually follow through? That's a legit question that I have.
He ain't followed through.
I mean, I don't know. You're gonna have to figure that out because I'm not sure if he's going to do it or not. I'm not sure what any of these guys are going to do. All I know is we got to push our agenda, no matter who's in there. And in a perfect world, the Biden campaign would have brought me in, and we would have really talked about the plan, and they would have did, great things to their plans to specifically target Black people, but they chose not to, and that's fine. But the thing is, I'm not a supporter of neither one of them.
No, I'm saying
that's what's the problem. I'm an independent person.
We'll have a conversation with the administration. If Biden wins and Kamala wins, it's not too late. So I don't think it's fair to dismiss what they are. They're not in power yet. So they really can't say. They really can't say and promise things because they're not yet in power. We're not even in power in Congress.
You can't make campaign promises. So why and they have. That's what the plan.
Make the promise when they're in office.
Well, they put out the Lift Every Voice Can Sing plan. That is their promise to America and to the world. That is their promise. So the thing is, you can always promise the people who put you in power something more than what you just came up with. You gotta, especially when there's so much more that needs to be done. And he knows that there's so much that falls short in that plan when it comes to actually helping Black people, minority, people of color, diversity. All those are trick words, and Black people don't necessarily get a tenth of that. So we have to really be smart and really make sure that money is touching the hands of the people who have really struggled in this country for hundreds of years.
I have a question. You said that the Biden campaign didn't reach out to you, and you said
they did reach out. But they didn't want to. They said we'll hook up after the election.
And to be fair, they're not the power in party right now. I want to ask you this if this is true, because I had heard from one of my sources that you were contacted for the Zoom call with Kamala Harris, with D.L. Hughley, Snoop Dogg, you, Killer Mike. They were all on the call, and you were not on the call, and that was that was in September. And why? So you said they didn't reach out. You said the Democrat reach out, but Kamala Harris's folks reached out to you and wanted you to be on the Zoom call because they thought your voice was important. Why did you not participate? Choose to not participate in that?
Well, we had spent, a lot of people time putting the contract with Black America together, and I just thought that getting on a Zoom call with 12 other entertainers, all shooting what they believe needs to be done, to me wasn't going to be productive. And I was also, because my lawyer, Matt Johnson, has a connection with Kamala Harris, and I was promised a call that I never received. So, that's why I didn't feel like I wanted to be on that Zoom call. So I feel like our plan is so broad that you can't talk about it with 12 other people who had nothing to do with it. And these are a lot of things that really need to get done. So I wanted to have a serious conversation and not just a rally cry kind of conversation.
But you said that you would talk to anyone that was willing to help. You said you were.
I am, but I just said that they said they were going to call me direct, and I never got that call. So when you hear that, you're waiting for that call. It never came.
So no kind of way don't work if it's not the way that you started. You want it. Got it.
Well, I want to get things done. I don't want to just spin my wheels, talk to people who can't really make it happen. So I didn't want to just. Well,
the vice presidential candidate.
When I had listen, because I had the conversation. When I had the Zoom call with the DNC, the Democratic Party, we was on the call for probably over 45 minutes, and we never even got to the contract with Black America. We never went through any of the points that needs to be dealt with when it comes to the situation in this country. No one else has a plan that deals with as many issues that this administration or any administration could fix if they had the political will. And you have to give them the political will. And that's what's being done. So I didn't want to put anybody on blast for that, but since they saying I didn't jump on the call, it's because I was promised a call where we can actually deal with this in a serious manner, and it wasn't just what I considered a rally call.
But I feel like that actually could have been okay, because you could have led the call and had supporters on listening to what it was that you're trying to get them to be able to help rally with the initiative for that.
I had been doing press about the contract of Black America outside of that, so I was using my press to promote the contract, not just to them dudes on the call, but to all of America, to all of Black America. That's where my thing is. So I wasn't on the call, but that don't mean we couldn't have a call. So that's what happened. And I don't feel like I made a mistake for not being on the call.
I will tell you, we have to wrap the show. We're way over, but I just want to say, Cube, I hear what you're saying, but I just want you to know, as Black women, how we would feel with, there's no mention specifically of Black women in the contract of Black America. They do have
to stand on top of that. I just told you you can write that up if you
want to. We're not out here jumping on calls.
We all Black, so we all.
But we're not meeting up with Jared Kushner and Donald Trump about this. You are. So you can't say, well, if you don't like it, add to it. You're out here. You took that job. You took that position.
I'll write it up.
So like, don't say
I'll write up the Black woman's part of the contract for you.
Yeah,
how many words do y'all want it to be? The thing is, you guys are the experts, but here we go again. You just want to talk. Nobody want to help me. Just want to talk. But y'all the experts on Black women, so why won't y'all help me? See, that's the problem.
I can tell you why. You didn't let me guys party, so anyway,
the initiatives have already been set, and
I wish listen, you guys, we are way over. We're way over. I wish we would have you for more time because I feel like you have a lot to say, Ice Cube, and you're very influential, and we appreciate this. And I hope we can respectfully debate and no feelings hurt. I don't think you are the type that would get hurt. I appreciate y'all. I wish we could have you back to have more of this conversation. Would you be open to come back here?
Of course, we family.
All right, guys, I'm in my.
Well, there you have it, folks. You see how Ice Cube broke that down? To let y'all know, man. It's like, yo, ain't nothing to it, man. Ain't nothing to it. Just explain it, what you're doing to the people, you know what I'm saying? Make them know, saying, no one understand that it's not what you do, it's how you do it. The man has a plan. He's trying to implement his plan. He knows he might need help, so he's doing it the best way he knows how to get the most effective results as possible. Because at the end of the day, it's about results. So Black women can be mad that he didn't put them in the plan when he's asking them to help him make the plan, and they're like, no, I don't want you said you're gonna do it, so you should do the plan. Like, and he's asking for help. So wouldn't y'all want to spearhead the plan for your group, joining together with Ice Cube? Wouldn't that make the most logical sense in the matter? I get it, Queen. Y'all like to get into a lot of, unnecessary debates the situation. Sometimes John just gotta sit back and think. Just sit back and think.
That's it. Because we're running out of time, Ice Cube, I would like to say right now, to be fair to you, and we really wanted to dig deep about the Black woman part. I think that's very important. and the Lift Every Voice part versus the contract with Black America. I feel like there's more on the table, and I don't want to be disrespectful to your perspective and to the perspective of Black women. I would love to invite you back before the election. If you have time, I would love to do that for part 2 with Ice Cube. We gotta break now.
No problem.
Brother, I know your intent is good. We just don't like who you rocking with, but we know your intent.
I ain't rocking with nobody.
We rocking with them.
We don't see y'all. We don't see.
Oh, you see how it is? She just don't like who you rock with. So that means they missed the whole point of the whole interview. Y'all understand it now? You gotta be more politically mature. Let's see the bigger picture. It's about our agenda. Because our livelihoods depend on our children. We get to keep it coming, keep it moving and improving and doing the best way we can, where we know how. That's with conscious understanding, looking at life through the most logical lens, which is universal. How could you help your fellow man do better, do better, and compensate for the atrocities that are done to my people and all people that have already been compensated handsomely. So, until our people get a just due, you know what it is. It's your boy Matt Mizzo. And y'all have a good night. I'm out. Peace.